5 ascendancies and slight variation of builds that are dominating the charts at the very start of 323 Affliction League of Path of Exile. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Gyro. Today we're looking at PoE Ninja for the latest data. Of course, it's still being updated, it's not final, yada yada, all of that kind of stuff, but we already see about 37,000 characters created in the Affliction League. Look, one thing is following my favorite builds or someone else's favorite builds, top league starters and all that kind of stuff. That's one thing. It has its merit. But then it is looking at real data. What are people actually playing? Well, this video is exactly about that. Give me a quick like if you're a supporter of this channel, if you're a casual, unpretentious, non-elitist player, because those kind of people are welcome here, while others, sadly, not so much. Alright, so what are people playing in the Affliction League so far in December 2023? First of all, the ascendancy of Deadeye. Let's take a look at that. So Deadeye, Lightning Arrow, funnily enough, is leading the charts. Is over 30% of characters created so far in the Affliction League are Lightning Arrow builds of some kind of variations. Again, we are not here talking about a specific build for potency. Of course, I will link some of the builds that I can find on YouTube, the ones that are dominant kind of right now in the in the charts, for your kind of loose reference. Yeah, but I'm not claiming that these are the best builds. I'm just telling you that Lightning Arrow right now is very popular for Deadeye Ascendancy, followed by Tornado Shot. But as you can see, Tornado Shot, if you compare this video with my one for the Trial of the Ancestors League, you will see that Tornado Shot was much further higher up than anything else. Well, this time around it's Lightning Arrow for the Deadeye, and lots of different builds with some of them provided to you in the description. Nothing really particularly of interest further there. We will probably check in later in the league, but for now this is what we have. That's our leader right now. Who is number 2, so to speak? Surprisingly, it is Pathfinder. It is also Ranger and it is Pathfinder, and it is, this time, not so surprisingly, it is Toxic Rain. Toxic Rain, as I said in my own video, it is it's a no regrets, safe as houses, as we say in Australia, build that where you can't go wrong, particularly wrong. It's an age-old build. Lots of different creators, including myself, put their own spin on it. You kinda can't go wrong with it. There are only variations and there are only complexities when you start pushing really high tier 16 red maps and start fighting Uber Elder and that kind of stuff, you know. For now, like if you are a beginner, and if you're not, you wouldn't be watching this video. If you're a beginner, Toxic Rain will take you far into the end game, and that's all you need to know. And that is the living proof. That is our ascendancy number 2 so far in the Affliction League. Safe as houses, boring as hell, I think personally. And yeah, that's what it is. Now, because Affliction League has brought slight variations, changes to the gems, how gems work, yeah, there are different ways to now use the font in the labyrinth. When you are ascending, you can use that font now to change your gems. This is not a guide, this is not even pretending to give you full information. You can watch the live stream and the reveal where the developers were talking about that in greater detail. But what you're looking at here is, so Toxic Rain is 21% dominating for Pathfinder right now as far as builds are concerned, but then you see Caustic Arrow of Poison. That is a specific version of a of a Caustic Arrow, yeah, and it is basically, it's something that comes out of that font as one of the particular sources of mutating, changing, transfiguring your own gems. And this is you know, kind of subject for another video perhaps. I just wanted to point out to you that a particular variation of Caustic Arrow is getting quite a traction. I can see that this is definitely a vector pointing up, and you know me, I love Caustic Arrow. Caustic Arrow, you get it first, like it's like the first skill that you get from Lion's Eye Watch as a ranger, of course. And Caustic Arrow, I love how it plays, and I always feel bad swapping it for anything, Toxic Rain, anything else later, because it doesn't scale as well. Like, we don't play end game with Caustic Arrow, right? But this looks like this is something that is changing the landscape. I'm very excited about it, and many of you hopefully will be too. Okay, let's take a look at our third ascendancy that's dominating the charts. Let's take a look, and it is, unsurprisingly, but I expect it to be higher. It is an SRS, Summon Raging Spirits Guardian. Only 11% so far, but again, the league has only just begun. and we can see that lots of creators, one of my favorite creators, Subtractum, his particular guide, very detailed. My guides are nothing compared to his. His SRS Guardian for the Affliction League, the guide became a bit of a classic instant Bible that even I refer to in this particular case. Even I mean in this case loosely, because not because of I think I know better, but because I like to play how I like to play. Yeah, but even I look at his thing with gratitude, and I very much recommend that you do too. So take a look at this. If you are playing a Guardian, essentially majority of Guardians are playing Summoned Raging Spirits. Let's take a look at what Elementalists, so 10% of characters are Elementalists, believe it or not, and Elementalists are playing Detonate Dead. I do not have a build of Detonate Dead of my own. I have eyes, I scroll through YouTube and I see just as much as you do that there are lots and lots of players trying Detonate Dead very successfully in the previous league in Trial of the Ancestors, and they are rocking in here, rolling into the Affliction League with Detonate Dead. I understand it's about generation of corpses, I understand the conceptual thing behind it, that you detonate the dead that you generated. And the playstyle itself, I'm happy to be surprised, and I probably will be experimenting with this build later in this league, but for myself, I am not that keen on the playstyle. Personally, and that's all I'm gonna say for now, not pretending to be an expert, I'm just not, okay? And then a little bit, not a little bit, but a few Elementalists are playing with Explosive Arrow. Interestingly enough, Explosive Arrow has always been quite a popular league starter, but specifically for Elementalist, quite interesting that it's an Elementalist Explosive Arrow. Not gonna say much more about that, but you can see yourselves here the three dominating builds, if this is something, a pointer for yourself to start doing your further research, and I do hope it helps you. And if it does, listen mate, if you're still watching the video, if you still have not tuned out, why not give me a like and just become a member of the club, and I appreciate you, thank you. And final kind of honorable mention here, falling off a little bit towards the tail end, but number 5 here, the build that is, or ascendancy that's trending on PoE Ninja is Champion. And what are champions doing? Oh, lo and behold, they're playing with Splitting Steel again. And by again, I mean I seriously cannot remember when was the last time I played Splitting Steel, and I enjoyed it. And I had even my own version of a build that at least took you into the end game, like casually kind of stuff, right? Didn't pretend to do anything super uber important or impressive. But Splitting Steel, I played, if I'm not mistaken, in like 3.15 or something of PoE, so a while ago. And then it sort of just submerged and never made a reappearance, that build. But here we go. There might be something for both you and I, as Path of Exile fans and players. There might be something for us to research further here. Click around, take a look at the links that I will add into the description. I will be updating this video, of course, as more good builds emerge. But these are our 5 builds at the start of the Affliction League. So we have the Deadeye, we have the Pathfinder, we have the SRS Guardian, we have the Elementalist, and we have the Splitting Steel Champion. What do you think else will make an emergence here among this list, as more characters will be rolled in this league? Because towards the end of Trial of the Ancestors we had this number at 99,000 something. So roughly there were 100,000 characters rolled in the previous league, if at least by the metrics that PoE Ninja is fetching from some API somewhere there. Not saying that that's the accurate number, but that's all we have to play with. But in this particular case, there are already 38,000, which is a high enough number to see the starting trends. Anyway, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Excited about Affliction. Gonna go play right now. And you tell me in the comments down below what you're playing. I'm really interested. Thanks very much for tuning in. Goodbye for now.